The issue of a young man who finally contemplates their mortality, that we're not going to be here forever. Perhaps they've lost a parent, perhaps they've lost even a young friend, is something that can really be very, very devastating to a person. It can sometimes be immobilizing. And the question is, what do we say? How do we think about this? There really is no real answer. I would have to say that Judaism is profoundly optimistic, that we look at every day of life as a gift, as an opportunity. In many, many ways, death is the mechanism by which we treasure life, because we have to seize the moment. We have to make it count, because this is our chance to make something worthwhile of our life. Imagine if a person had the gift of living forever, of never dying. A person would never have the energy or the incentive to do anything because he could do it 10,000 years from now, 20,000 years from now. So I would tell the person that it's precisely the tragedy of death that gives meaning and purpose and joy and passion into every second of life. Make it count. Don't put off the good things you can do today by waiting until tomorrow, because frankly, we don't know if there's going to be a tomorrow. And when our sages talk about remembering the day of death, they did not mean that to be depressing or sad. They meant it to be energizing and incentivizing. And I would also say that because we believe that the soul is eternal, it's the body that simply drops away. The soul is eternal. There really is no such thing as death in the most literal way. We are simply reborn into a higher spiritual state. But that higher spiritual state is totally based on the goodness that we performed in this lower spiritual state. And therefore, my earlier point is not contradicted. You still have to seize the moment. Carpe diem. Life is so precious because it is finite. There's a rabbinic saying which at first glance seems to be very, very strange. Every time God created something, the Torah says God saw that it was good. And at the end of all the creation, it says, and God saw everything that he made, and it was very good. Well, how did it be very good? Everything is good, 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 good. How do you get a very good out of a bunch of goods? So the Midrash tells us, what was the thing that made the good into the very good? Maves, death. It was death that made us appreciate the beauty and the significance of every single moment. So my message to the young man or the young woman is to be courageous, be optimistic, be hopeful. Know that you can fill your life with meaning and purpose and goodness. And eventually, God will reward your soul with connection to him by what you do today. So death is not something to be afraid of. It is something to be welcomed after a person has used his life in a good way.
Thanks for watching. Click subscribe and hit the notification bell below for daily pearls of Jewish wisdom.